Hey, everybody. I'm back. Carl Gerard, the Only One Mic podcast. I know I've been away for a while and missed a lot of stories, but, you know, life was lifing. But I'm back here now, and I'm telling you, this is a wild one. Did y'all know that Tyler Perry was getting sued for sexual harassment? Allegedly. And there was also an alleged attempt on R. Kelly's life in prison, and Trump is selling phones. Hey, everybody. Hey, listen, you know, like I said before, I know I've been gone for a minute. You know, life takes its toll. I'm going to tell you a funny story before, you know, we get started in all this. You know, I'm home today, and I'm trying to get things together, I guess, to do for the show and all. And summertime, well, not really summertime, because summertime hasn't officially started, but the kids are out of school. And so, you know, kids are in the neighborhood, they're playing, they do what kids do. Get a knock on the door from a neighbor. Hey, man, you might want to come out and check your car. And I got a fairly new car, 2024, Nissan Jammy, and, try to keep it together and everything like that. But the long short of it is I come outside and my window is busted out. That's broad daylight, so it's not like nobody took anything. It's just the kids were out there horsing around. So I'm looking at the glass, and I'm, looking around like, so I just asked the kids across the street. I said, all right, who did it? So, they said, we're sorry, it was an accident and everything like that. So, at this point, the one kid's, mom comes out, the kid that actually did it. And I got to tell you folks, the kid looked like he was about maybe kindergarten, first grade. And so the mom comes out, she's, apologizing profusely and all. And I'm like, look, I said, come here, son, I understand that you made a mistake. This kid is looking at me, he's about to cry and everything. And I'm like, I understand you made a mistake, son, but next time, when you're out here playing and you're tossing rocks and doing what you're doing, and I understand that was an accident, right? But I'm going to be patient. Most people won't be patient about this. So long and short of it is that, I told the kid, don't worry about it, son. It's all right. Just watch yourself next time. Be careful. Right? And, I told mom I handle it. It's no big deal. It is, I want to feel like paying a deductible, but I'm not going to beat her over the head with it, And so as I'm out there cleaning up the glass and I'm, calling my insurance company or whatnot while I'm doing it, a young man that was with them, older young man there, he comes to me and he says, sir, can I help you clean up this mess? And I felt some way about that, folks. I'm not going to lie to you because I'm like, this was mighty decent of you. You know what I mean? And normally, kids would do what they do. I know as a kid, you might have did something stupid and you just scatter away. But the kid actually came over. He offered to help. He helped me clean up the glass and everything. And we were talking and all. And, nice young man. Everything was yes, sir. No, sir. Things of that nature. Very respectable young man. And so I say all that to say this, is that sometimes the kids just need some people to just be patient with them. And, just not fly off the handle about certain things. And I guess that's thank God, praises to God on this, maybe a sign of maturity on my point. But of course, I'm not going to wild out on a little kid for doing little kid stuff. So if it was something in malice, then yeah, you might have an argument. If they were older, you might have an argument, but they're kids and hopefully they learn from this experience. All right. So now jumping into these news stories here. It seems to be like a trend with this sexual harassment lawsuits and claims of, being sexually assaulted by these celebrities. So we got another one that's in the hat here. Now they got Tyler Perry. Okay. So Tyler Perry, as I said earlier, was getting sued or is in the process of getting sued by actor Derek Dixon, who's a part of his show, The Oval. Now, the lawsuit was filed against Tyler Perry in Los Angeles Superior Court, alleging repeated sexual assault, harassment, and professional retaliation during his time working on Perry's BET series, The Oval. The lawsuit seeks at least $260 million in damages, claiming Perry used his influence in the entertainment industry to manipulate and exploit Dixon after initially offering him career opportunities. So basically, he was on the casting couch. That's what it sounds like to me. Dixon accuses Perry of escalating sexual advances backed by screenshots of text messages included in the lawsuit. One alleged threat involved killing off Dixon's character if he didn't engage with Perry's sexual innuendos. Multiple allegations are detailed in the lawsuit, including groping, unwanted physical advances both on set and at Perry's home, and Perry allegedly apologizing afterwards and made a career-related promise to keep Dixon silent. Now, Perry's legal team is denying all allegations, of course, claiming them false and part of an attempted scam. It said Dixon eventually relocated from Atlanta to Los Angeles, filed an EEOC complaint in 2024, and left the show when no action was taken. I've seen some things on the story today, and one of them alleged that he was in bed. I don't know if he was in bed with Tyler Perry, but he was saying that he actually was in the bed with him, and Perry allegedly started like rubbing his thigh. Why would you be a grown man in bed? Well, let me backtrack that. I'm sorry. That was the initial report that he was in the bed. But let me just give some clarity on what that report was saying when he was saying he was in bed. They're not saying that he was in bed with Tyler Perry, because this would be crazy. If you were in bed with the man, then obviously you went there for a reason. But they were saying that he was staying in a guest room in the house. This is one of the stories that I'm hearing out of, different sources. He was in a guest room in the house, and I guess, Tyler came in allegedly on some knock creep stuff and started getting in bed with him and rubbing his thighs. Contrary to belief, folks, there's a right way to do wrong, and this is wrong. This is wrong. This is disgustingly wrong. You see what's going on with Puff. And let's not also forget, too, actor Jared Leto is also being accused of sexual assault. And Leto, who starred in such movies as Morbius and I think he was on like The Matrix or something, Blade Runner, something like that. The guy's been in a few movies, okay? He's in the upcoming Masters of the Universe for all us 80s babies, He-Man, playing Skeletor. Now, I was looking at, just a sidetrack, looking at that article, thinking to myself, well, do you fire him? Because, it was multiple sexual assault. Anytime something like this comes up, I always think, you didn't give Jonathan Majors like one day in court before Disney fired him. So, and, during that ruined the man's career. But, yeah, he's also up for a sexual assault allegation, all alleged until proven. But back to Tyler Perry, folks. I tell you what, and I got to pause when I say this because I collect my thoughts on it. I don't want to, say that anybody can be accused of anything, because there's a lot of people sitting in penitentiaries right now based upon someone's accusations. But when it comes to something like sexual assault, and especially in a situation like this, I would think that if you weren't even in the situation with this gentleman to say that he can make these allegations against you, you know what I mean? Like, it seems weird. It's just that even if it was a female who I'll give you a good example, the situation with Jay-Z. And the young lady says, oh, well, I was sexually assaulted by Jay-Z. If Jay-Z has never met this woman, took a picture with her, went to a hotel room with her, spent time in a car with her, I don't care if you walk from one end of the corner to the other with this person, if you had no interaction with this person, how could this story even be? And so when I looked at this particular situation with Tyler Perry, I'm like, well, I don't know if you had the man in your house. I don't know. Well, none of us know. I mean, it's all alleged. But if you're not in that situation, how can someone actually go to a courtroom and file a complaint with a straight face saying that this person is doing this, and the other? And if you have text messages and stuff, release the messages. And I'm not a Tyler Perry apologist at all. I personally am not a fan of his movies. At least, none of these latest offerings and none of this stuff that he's done. I respect the business sense in terms of making a Hollywood within Hollywood. But I think a lot of his stuff is repetitive and, just out and out, exploitive at this point. So no, I'm not a Tyler Perry apologist, nor am I a victim shamer in this one, if this is the case. But I mean, time will tell. What do you think about it, folks? What do you think? I mean, if he wasn't in that situation, could this lawsuit be filed? Am I going to come out and just say the man is, I mean, you made money in drag pretty much for a very long time. So I'm gonna just rest my case right there. But in this particular case, we don't know if this man actually had any dealings with Tyler Perry outside of the work situation. We don't know, but time will tell. But what do you think, folks? Please let me know in the comments. Do you think that this is something that you could see Tyler doing, or is this something that you think is just another one of those things? All right, so moving on, guys. R. Kelly, who is currently serving time right now, said that he was hospitalized as a result of an overdose. Now, R. Kelly was hospitalized on June 13th after allegedly overdosing on medication provided by prison staff, while in solitary confinement at FCI Bunter in North Carolina. His legal team claims the dosage exceeded his normal prescriptions. According to his lawyers, Kelly collapsed in his cell after experiencing dizziness and vision issues. He was taken to Duke University Hospital, but was removed against medical advice before receiving scheduled surgery for blood clots. The legal team also alleges a murder plot by 3 prison officials, allegedly, suggesting they planned to have him killed by another inmate. This claim was part of an emergency motion filed days earlier. His attorney, Bo Brentley, has renewed a plea to President Donald Trump, for a pardon, stating that Kelly's life is in imminent danger and that only presidential intervention might save him. In response, federal prosecutors dismissed the claim as fanciful and theatrical, criticizing the legal motions as procedurally flawed and characterized Kelly as a master manipulator. Kelly is 58 years old, folks, and he is serving a 30-year sentence for racketeering and sex trafficking, along with another 20-year sentence for child pornography and enticement. He was convicted in both New York and Chicago, with part of the latter sentence to be served consecutively. So much to unpack on that one. Pardon me. Do you think that R. Kelly was actually set up to be murdered? And if so, by whom and what for? Does R. Kelly shed some light? Especially, and I hate to play, connect the universe on here, but then you look at the whole situation with Puff, and they said with Puff's case, there was there was another famous rapper who was throwing these freak offs and things in which, they withheld that rapper's name. Or, they redacted it off the court document. And it makes you wonder if there's a coalition here, because I've always said that when R. Kelly initially got locked up, that he was not the only person. This is prior to the whole thing with Puff and everything like that coming out. We've said on this show, me and Brooklyn Dre and J Rob and Just, we've said on the show before that he's not the only person that's doing this stuff. When Kel got locked up for what he got locked up for, I've said, if I can quote myself, that there's no way in the world that he had all of this going on, and then you did so much work with other artists and whether it be music or whatever he was doing it with, or the people that that had no idea that this was going on the whole time. So like they said, they're getting, he's sentenced for racketeering and trafficking and, no, it's not, he's not the only one of this. Fast forward. Now you have Puff in jail. I mean, in jail and on trial right now, I should say, for almost the same thing. Except I think the difference with Puff's situation is that you really don't have anything criminal on him as of yet. His only crime is being a freak. And, when they're talking about sex trafficking as well as I think they had him for racketeering and the RICO thing, which he's the only one on trial. So I don't know how that's a RICO case. But, I always said if these guys just name names, then maybe they, basically snitching. If you name names on anybody else that was involved in all of this foolishness, that maybe they would have showed them some type of leniency or whatever. Or maybe you use it as your, get out of jail, or I don't know, get out of jail free card or whatever. But if he's saying that people are trying to kill him and he's overdosing allegedly by way of the prison staff there, then maybe he knows something that everybody don't know, is not privy to yet. Even with going back to the Puff thing, I thought it was kind of weird that even like Kanye showed up, sat there for like 10 minutes and left. Was you looking to see if your name come up in any of this stuff? I mean, we don't know. We don't know. Everything is alleged and speculation at this point. But I find this one kind of strange. And also, guys, let's just say, and God forbid, I don't want to put death on anybody. God forbid. But we all know that these record companies, right? Anybody that owns the masters to this music, make more money off these guys when they're dead. Please see Tupac, Big. You make more money off these guys when they're dead. You know what I mean? The catalog jumps up. R. Kelly right now, Robert Kelly, 58 years old, who's serving a 30-year sentence for racketeering and sex trafficking and 20 years for child pornography and enticement. If R. Kelly was to pass away in prison right now, I guarantee you his music will skyrocket. Despite everything I just read to you right there, the music would skyrocket. You know this, and I know that. That he would probably get more streams dead than he does in prison right now alive. So I don't know. Sometimes just my conspiracy theory head thinking right now is that you don't know if these record companies put something out on him. Who knows, man? It's time to get some money back. This guy's been locked up for a very long time. And we can't really move that catalog. So I don't know. I mean, but I'm pretty sure more will come out on this. And the pardon, they're asking Trump for the pardon. You figure Trump is pretty much pardoning every other criminal. He's like letting drug dealers loose and all. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he will do it. I think Trump has said something in a statement once that he would pardon Puff if he was convicted. But I don't know, because Trump would do anything just to stay in if you can do that nowadays. Because if you see all the foolishness that's going on with this guy and the graces of the African American community, which is my personal opinion on, why you're freeing all of these, big time drug dealers and stuff, that, to be honest with you folks, we can celebrate them all you want, but at the end of the day, they brought death to your community. And I'm not saying that no man or woman is above being changed in their thoughts or, motivations for things. So I'm not saying that you can't change. You can change. However, you know what I mean? They bring death to the community. Speaking of Trump, folks, are you ready for this? Trump Mobile So we have, speaking of pandering, Trump Mobile. Okay. So Trump has now just announced that he will be launching a new mobile phone and cellular service called Trump Mobile. Now, the company claims the phones will be designed and manufactured in the United States. And according to the New York Times, they say this is unclear how this will be achieved, given the lack of infrastructure for smartphone production in the U.S. The plan includes a $47 monthly service that purportedly offers 24/7 telemedicine, but the details of that, offering are a little murky. The Trump family's involvement in the venture raises potential conflicts of interest as the industry is regulated by the Trump administration. The announcement coincides with the 10-year anniversary of Donald Trump's first presidential campaign announcement, suggesting political motivations behind the launch. Now, please correct me, folks, if I am wrong. Have we ever seen a sitting president hawking products while they were still in office? Now, some of you might say, hey, man, Obama had a phone. But the thing about the Obama phone was that was the nickname for the Lifeline program, and that provided discount phones and internet service to low-income individuals. So that wasn't actually him saying, I'm starting Obama Mobile. That was just something they tacked on, his name on for service. But Trump, since the last, time he was in office up until Trump has been selling everything from sneakers to stamps. I think they even got like Trump guns. It's like crazy. You know what I mean? But the man is a hustler at heart. And that's, I guess, what it is with him is that, he's, just putting his name and everything to something that will make money. I mean, because make no mistake about it. When these guys are in office, before Elon Musk even split, and that was basically a money move because he was losing too much money with Trump. The thing is that these guys, everybody in that administration is setting up their generational wealth and all of that. You know what I mean? So I think that this is crazy that he's, continuing to hawk these products that nobody wants. Nobody wants a Trump phone. Nobody wanted Trump sneakers. I mean, I guess you had some people that was collectors that brought those sneakers, but nobody want Trump sneakers and things of that nature. But I think they had like commemorative plates and all type of foolishness. So, yeah. So, I mean, what do you guys think about it? I mean, Trump phones, is $47 a month, a steal for you guys? I mean, do you think? I know, my phone bill is kind of high a month, but I ain't selling out. I'd rather just go ahead and pay the money. But $47 a month for 24/7 telemedicine and all that, it seems like they kind of building this plane while they flying it, and it just sounds good. But, it sounds good to some people, I should say. But nah, I think I'm gonna have to say the nay no on that one, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is stupid. And also, the thing that like the article was saying was that if they push this through, right, and you have Trump Mobile now, what does that say about the T-Mobiles and help me out, folks? What's the one that Ryan Reynolds do? Mint Mobile. What does it say about all the other mobile companies? Like, is it a way that he can possibly knock them off and kind of just take over the whole mobile industry? I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking long range, folks. Alternative future. I don't know. But anyway, guys, thank you. It's good to be back, sharing some time with you all. So please check us out. The Only One Mic podcast is available on all platforms you stream your podcasts on. Also, check out our Only One Mic podcast YouTube channel. Catch up on the past and current episodes. And please don't forget to rate the show and subscribe. And again, like I said, I know I've been away for a minute. A few days or so. So, no, I didn't forget y'all, and I hope you didn't forget us either. So please just subscribe, hit the like notification buttons and all of that. It's a small step for you, but it's a big thing for us. Also, check us out on Instagram and X at the Only One Mic P1, Facebook and LinkedIn at the Only One Mic Podcast, and you can contact us via email at the only one Mike00 at gmail.com, or call us at 302-367-7219 to have your comments and questions played on the show. Please let me know what you think about any of these topics that we covered. Your opinions on R. Kelly, your opinions on Tyler Perry, and what do you think about Trump Mobile? Looking forward to hearing from you guys. Peace.